students out there who will be appearing for your board exams in a couple of months from now. And today I have with me Ms. Deepika Rathi. Deepika is a passionate teacher who loves teaching maths, and she is here today to share some secrets on how you can put your best foot forward in the very crucial maths board exam paper. Right now, Deepika ma'am, I welcome you to this session today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So Deepika, before we deep dive into the session today, I want to briefly introduce you. So with over 6 years of experience in teaching, Deepika is a qualified engineer. Yes, you heard that right. She is an engineer by her education qualification with a BTech degree in electronics and communication. But her love for teaching and her love for students and her love for mathematics and numbers has helped her decide her actual and true calling in life, which is to be a teacher. Is that right, ma'am?
Yes, exactly.
So Deepika has an experience, a whole of experience in the area of ranging from conducting workshops in Vedic maths, NTSC training students for NTSC exam, to teaching mathematics to students of CBSE, Rajasthan board, Maharashtra board, everything she has packed in these 6 years of her experience. It's wonderful to have you with us today, Deepika.
Thank you once again.
So basically, just wanted to understand, when is it exactly that you got to know that you are meant to be a teacher?
Well, Payal ma'am, first of all, thank you so much for introducing me this way. And well, there are not only one or two instances, there are many instances, okay? When I was in school, I used to help my classmates in explaining the question which were difficult for them. So this is where I started liking this profession. I started liking teaching, but I was unaware about that. And also once in my college, my teacher asked me to solve something on board, and for which I got appreciated from my batchmates as well as from my teacher. And you know, that appreciation made me realize that I am someone who is meant for teaching. And you know, this that is why I am here today as a teacher.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure, Deepika, that I can make out that you use this appreciation wala jadoo in your class as well, right?
Exactly. You know, this is the kind of
Solves. So when a student does something right and you sort of give him a praise and a pat in the back, that really boosts their confidence, correct?
exactly. This is what I am doing with my students also.
Great, great. It's wonderful to have you here once again. So without taking too much more time, let's really get started with this discussion today. So essentially, Deepika, this year, as we all know, has been a tough year, right, for the students.
Yeah.
Schools बंद हैं, classrooms online classes चल रही हैं school की तरफ से भी, and the two students are essentially, they have probably in this academic year they have never even visited a school classroom at all. And
Yeah.
particularly the students who are in 10th and 12th, उनको तो बड़ी सोच के थोड़ी घबराहट होती होगी. It's quite natural कि board exams में क्या होगा, है ना? So in your experience of teaching class 10 students now, you know, with Meritnation here, what are the top 3 questions that class 10 students are really asking you a lot these days?
Okay. Yeah. You know, this year students are a bit confused. Like they are confused regarding the most frequent question is like, ma'am, whether there will be a board exam or not. So it's
Okay.
like, so yes, my dear student, there is going to be a board exam, and that too offline mode. Written mode exam will be there. But no final decision has been taken on the date. Like what will be the date for board exam? There is no such notification. But board exam will be there, keeping in like COVID guidelines and protocols, just like the NEET examination, which was the last time which was a success, definitely. And second thing is student are confused, like, is there any chances of further reduction in syllabus? So student, you know, your syllabus has been reduced to 30% already. So not you know, don't go for such notification whether there will be further reduction or not, because already बहुत reduction हो गया है. Now it's a high time where you should go for your preparation. Okay.
So what I hear you say, Deepika, is that students को अगर ये लग रहा है कि क्या इस साल बोर्ड एग्जाम्स नहीं होंगे, तो नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, बोर्ड एग्जाम्स होंगे.
Yeah, definitely.
एंड इन ऑल लाइकलीहुड ऑफलाइन मोड में ही होंगे, जैसे हम लोग हमेशा से होते आए हैं. To go to the centers. बाकी उसकी जो बाकी finer modalities हैं वो government and CBSE will accordingly sort of take care. And the other thing you said about syllabus reduction.
Reduction.
Because I think students are really hoping कि और cut हो जाएगा, क्या पता. But you are saying that जितना हो गया वो हो गया, अभी और होगा.
No further chances. Yeah.
No further chances. Okay, my dear students, everybody here in class 10th who all are attending this, please hear this, that there's going to be no more changes, no further reduction. Yeah. So whatever is there is now you have to really pull up your socks and give it your very best. You know, last couple of months are remaining. Right. Now, talking about exams and board exams particularly, in your years of teaching and your years of analysis of the board exam paper, in the pattern of questions in the last couple of years at least, what are some of the changes that you have observed, particularly in the class 10 maths exam pattern?
Yeah, like if I talk about the last 2-3 years, the paper pattern constantly kept on changing. Even I can say there are some drastic changes are here. Like today we have two versions of mathematics paper. Like one is the basic one and which second one is the standard one. So which is obviously a good thing for students, because now if a student is not that good in mathematics and there is no plan of taking maths in 11th standard, then one can go for the basic one. Okay, so which is obviously a good thing. And the second thing is, today we have more number of objective questions as compared to the last 3-4 years. So we have more number of objective questions. Also, the more number of internal choices are there. Like student was always worrying about, ma'am, internal choice nahi tha, otherwise I would have scored this much. So student, this time you have more number of internal choices. Also, ma'am, more emphasis has been given to short type of question, like to 1 marker question, 2 marker question instead of 4 marker question. So it's a good thing, like MCQs.
So, yeah. So I know that there are some students, right, who in these short answer questions, actually to answer them well within time and not overshoot the time, you really need to be thorough with the concept.
Exactly.
What happens is students tend to take a lot of time and they spend a lot of time in this 1 and 2 markers, ताकि वो जो बाद के ज़्यादा नंबर वाले क्वेश्चन उनके टाइम कम बच जाता है. So I think therefore is MCQs अगर है, objective questions हैं, but hold on your concept should be really thorough.
Yeah, because the focus of board exam is more on concept, more on basic knowledge, rather than the years of like memorization or the year of coaching. It's more on concept now. And first time in history, in mathematics, they have added the case study question. So, which is a surprise for the student. This is the first time they will be having case study question. And this is something which is easy also. And I can say, like, if student is not having a proper strategy to solve these kind of questions, so they may deviate from the time management planning during the exam, because they spend so much time in reading the information, and then when you solve the question, you will get to know, that was this much information was not required. You can simply solve that. So you need a student need practice for that, because obviously this is the first time. So they need practice for that. Yeah. Otherwise, the paper pattern board has made all the efforts to make it easy for students. So this is very good news for them.
Yes, I'm sure the students must be really happy now with MCQs and objective questions and case study, like you are saying. That sounds very
interesting.
Mathematics having a case study kind of. So how many case study questions are there, ma'am, in a paper now?
Ma'am, there will be like in part 1, there will be 2 sections. So in section number 2, there will be 4 case study questions. Okay, 4 study questions will be there, and 1 question will be of 4 marks. And
Okay.
in one 4-mark question, there will be sub parts, means one question of 1 mark from each of
Okay.
the like case study
Okay.
questions. So, and they will be in the form of MCQs, right?
Okay. Okay.
And out of like 5 part, they have to opt, like go for like only 4 parts, though internal choices is there. So that's why like
Okay.
total parts will be 5, but they have to opt only 4 out of them.
All right. So, like you rightly said, Deepika, that if there is practice and the strategy to handle these questions, I think students can easily get marks in these questions, no?
Yeah, this is something very easy. But again, I'm saying this thing, like sometimes a student gives so much time to read all the like what is given in the case study, and they spend so much time. So there are chances that they may deviate from the time management planning,
Time.
because
Yeah.
usually what we suggest to our students is do not spend much time on 1 markers. Save that time to solve the question from
Which,
geometry portion in construction, because obviously when you solve graph paper, like when you are doing a graph or the construction part, it takes time. But at least on 1 marker, it should be done in like 1 minute or the 2 minutes. So we
yes.
suggest this thing to our student. But I'm just having like, I'm worrying about my student, like how they are going to tackle this thing now.
Ma'am, just coming to practice and the kind of questions at Merit Nation, are we giving our students that kind of practice in these questions?
Oh, yeah, like as we have more number of objective questions now, MCQs are there. So in like every class, like we give 2 to 3 quiz question or through
Okay.
polls, like so that they will be habitual of doing these kind of question in exams. So they don't have to, like our student don't have to worry about it, because they give
Okay.
lots of questions for practice.
Okay.
So they don't have to worry about that.
Okay. So while we're talking about questions, I have a question from Abhishant Jigan. He's,
Okay.
ma'am, what should be the maximum time for finishing the 21 mark questions? So जो 1 mark questions हैं, उनको maximum हमें कितने time में
Okay.
section को खत्म करना चाहिए?
Okay, like if I talk about like the particular one marker question, so the question will be like, for example, if I take a simple question, like when you have two numbers and you have to simply find the HCF or the LCM, so it depends on student to student. Some student might finish that in 30 seconds, and some student will take more than 1 minute. So the standard time is like try to solve that in like 1 minute, or the maximum is 1.5 minutes. Okay, do not cross that line. Okay,
So
and
what you are saying, therefore, is for a 21 marker questions, they should take maybe 20 minutes,
okay, 30
30
minutes,
minutes,
yeah.
at
Okay,
most
but
30
because
minutes.
in take case study, they should have they should keep some time to read that case study. So I can, like, you can take 10 minutes extra for that. But
Hmm.
in solving like first 20 question, one should go very quickly, so that one has to save time for the 5 marker question as the three
Yes.
marker question.
Yes, I have another question which is pertaining to this topic. So I'm taking it up now, which is
Okay.
Mehek Sharif is asking, ma'am, is it better to start from the end, like the more marks questions? What would you advise as a math?
Okay, actually, what I suggest to my student is to follow the sequence, because when you start like a 5 marker question and then 2 markers, so sometimes you leave a question unknowingly. What like they do, they leave a question by mistake. Okay, so this should not happen in exams. And also, like, uh, one logic is there, like if you are attempting 5 marker question first and then three in like
In
decreasing
that
order.
order,
So
yeah.
if very less timing is remaining, okay, if you have very less time, so logically, obviously it is possible to attempt 1 marker question, but this
Yeah.
is not possible in case of 5 markers. Student cannot do that. But the only thing is you can go from the decreasing order. Okay, but please
Make sure that you
make
don't
sure
miss.
that you are not leaving any question. Make
Right,
sure this
right,
thing.
right. So basically, I think what you are saying, and if I can rephrase it, is that either you start from the smaller weightage and go to the bigger weightage question,
Sequence wise,
or
yeah.
go the reverse order, because
Mhm.
at least that way the teacher who's correcting it will know कि he's done it either this way or this way.
Yeah.
But don't jump sections, because उससे confusion ज़्यादा create होगा checking के time पे,
For
है ना?
teacher as well for student also, ma'am, like because
Yes.
in that exam pressure sometime like we in hurry we sometime lift some questions. So that's why I'm saying follow a sequence, either increasing or the decreasing. That's it.
Right. On case study questions, Samriddhi Bansal is asking, ma'am,
Okay.
from which chapter are they? And she's asking, what are they like, and from which chapter?
Okay. For like case study question, there are like good chances that one question will be from the surface area and volume, like one
Okay.
story, like one theme will be there. Okay, if you'll Samriddhi, if you'll go through the CBSE website, you can just download the paper and you'll get an idea what kind of question basically they are asking. Okay, and from surface area and volume there is good chance. And another one is from application of trigonometry. Like there can be a case study on the angle of elevation and angle of the angle of depression. So there is a good chance of like two questions will be asked from these two topics. And other than that, there is some chance that maybe from statistics, because we this time we have statistics for 10 mark, okay, including the like probability and that. So there are chances that they may ask like one case study from that topic also. And other than that, like a little bit chance of coordinate geometry also, like where they'll give you a random shape and with the coordinates, so you have to find the like what are the midpoint. So student, basically the questions will be easy, the level of question will be easy. The only thing is, because this is new to us, you don't have that much practice for that. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, this is the part where your time management will disbalanced or something like that.
So, Deepika, am I right in understanding, although I don't know myself, I have not
Okay.
study question, but am I right in understanding that these are regular questions, but they're woven in a sort of story? मतलब
Story, yeah,
ये
theme will be
कीजिए,
there.
थीम होगा, इंफॉर्मेशन काफी ज्यादा दी होगी पूरा एक स्टोरी बनाने के लिए, और फिर जो आपको पूछा गया है आपको उसी में से निकाल के आपने आंसर करना है. That's what it
Yes,
is.
yes, yes,
Yeah, so
exactly.
basically students don't need to get worried if you understand English, and it will be simple, I'm sure. If you can understand what is written and you know the concept. So case study will be like your regular questions only. Yeah, I'm getting inundated by questions, Deepika.
Yeah,
Let's take
okay.
one more here. I have Karthik who's asking, what kind of timetable would you prefer? Karthik, we'll come to the timetable section in a while. Then I'm sure your questions will get answered. Then Abhishant is asking another question, ma'am, another doubt. We have 4 textbooks should we refer to in subject, for example, maths. Again, we'll come to that question
Yeah,
later. Deepika, make a note of these questions that we will
yeah,
come
definitely.
to that section. Then Preeti Srivastava was asking, ma'am, what is the strategy for 3-mark questions? Maybe we can tackle that now. And then Udit Goyal is asking, which book is prescribed by CBSE for class 10 maths standard paper?
Okay.
You want to take a go at that? Maths standard paper, which book is, I think NCERT textbook only, right?
Actually, ma'am, for math standard and basic, for both, most important book is obviously the NCRT. Doesn't
Okay.
matter which like paper you are giving, NCRT is very important. Okay,
Okay.
and after that, you can go for NCRT exemplar. Okay, which has a very good variety of questions. So this one is also very important.
So
And
exemplar is also taken out by NCERT only, and
yeah, exactly. Yes.
main textbook. So that
Yes.
answers, I think that answers this one more Karthik Raman's question. No, not Karthik Raman, Swayam Mansingh.
Okay.
It answers your question as well. He's asking if NCERT is enough. So there you go, Swayam.
Yeah.
That question.
But I would like to add one more thing. You can go for just NCRT and NCRT exemplar. But student, other than that, if you are not preferring any like books, for example, R.D. Sharma and RS, which is actually not required. Okay, don't pile up more and more. Don't collect more and more study material for you. Just go for these 2 books and the previous year sample papers. So, Pal ma'am, we will be discussing this thing in detail later on. Okay, like how to solve sample papers. So we will be having a discussion over that also.
So we will have, you're saying we will have separate sessions
Yeah.
plan for our students so that they get to know in detail how to handle sample papers and all of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so so now we can move to the next section which I was actually talking about, which is important topics, chapters, and weightage point of view. So now, as you
Okay.
think that we have standard and we have basic maths. So chapters remain the same, only the kind of questions that come are different. Now, are there different weightages for these chapters across these two maths level papers as well?
Like for the, like if I talk about unit wise, this same weightage is for basic and the standard one. But
Okay.
yeah, in unit, like for example, in algebra, we have arithmetic progression also, we have polynomials, okay, linear equation in two variable. So the like chapter wise, there can be different weightage. Okay. For example, if I talk about AP, so for the student who are giving basic level, this chapter is very important for you because 7 mark question will be there and for basic, but for
Okay.
standard there are chances that they will ask just a one question for
Okay.
1 mark or 2 mark. So again, very less weightage. Okay,
Okay, so
so
all the
it
students who are appearing for basic paper, please take note of that. Arithmetic progressions is one chapter that you don't want to skip. Yeah, because
yes,
चार नंबर के
yes.
questions आ सकते हैं वहां से.
Okay, and the second thing, if I talk about construction chapter, which the student take very lightly. Okay, so like when it comes to practice, what they do is like they'll just go through the figure. Okay, we have to make it like so. Student, my dear student, just do practice with taking a compass and the scale and pencil. Then only you will be able to do that in exam. And one more good news is there for you. In construction, they may not ask you steps of construction this time because a question will consist of 2 mark, or max to max there will be one question for 3 mark, but the chances are the question will be of 2 mark. So in that they'll ask you very
Steps
simple
they will
question,
not
very
ask.
simple question. Also the question level of question will be very simple from this chapter. Okay, and let's talk about some important topics from where the student can gain most of the marks.
Yeah.
Okay, so the number one is trigonometry. Okay, introduction to trigonometry plus application of trigonometry. So if you combine these two chapter, you know what is the weightage? That's 12 marks. Okay,
Wow.
so this is
12
12
solid
marks,
marks they can get.
solid marks. Okay,
Yes.
and I'll tell you the topics also in which you have to focus. The number one is trigonometric ratios, which is very simple. Okay, you have to like go through all the formulas and practice the question from exemplar in NCERT. That's it, from trigonometric ratios. And the another thing is trigonometric identities. Okay, so from identities, as usual, we have like some fixed questions. Okay, like it will be on the base of, for example, if I talk about a question, when you have cosec theta plus cot theta is equals to 5, and you have to find the value of sine theta. So these kind of questions are very a favorite of the exam sitter. Okay,
Examiners.
and second thing, there will be one word problem. As I already told you that case study can be there from application of trigonometry. So please, whether you are giving basic exam or standard exam, doesn't matter. You have 3 months for that, but do not skip this chapter because 12 marks and also very simple topics are there. Okay. And the second important chapter is linear equation. One word problem will be there for sure. Okay, from this chapter, one word problem will be there from linear equation. And another chapter which is very important, but student usually neglect that chapter, that is statistics. Okay, so the weightage of statistics, including probability, it's around 10 marks. Okay, and they're going to ask you to find the mean, median, or mode, and this time you don't have step deviation method. So chances are more like they'll ask you to find median or to find the mode. Okay, student. So and in these kind of question, the basic thing is just you have to remember the formula and that's it.
Apply
Okay,
it and get those marks. So
okay, yeah,
I
that's
think
very
10
simple.
marks, 10 marks for statistics and probability
Yeah,
should be in their pocket if they really
exactly. But the
concepts well.
only thing is like they keep this chapter to revise at the like
End.
uh,
Yeah.
at the end. Okay, and which should not happen. So they should go for this chapter in the priority. Like start with this chapter, like first statistics and then rest of the chapters.
Right.
And if I talk about graph, there are chances they'll give you one graph from this chapter, like to make less than and more than curve from this. Okay, and probability is very easy because you have already done that in 7th standard, 8th standard, 9th standard. So there's no much variety of question. You have already done that. So if even if you are going through the NCERT only, in that case, that is sufficient. Okay.
Okay.
And the another important topic which students should not leave is surface area and volume. because previously, they were having a topic frustum in that. So frustum was the most difficult for
Difficult.
students,
And now
but
that's
this time
removed,
they
is
don't
it?
have. So
Now
for
that's
example,
removed.
yeah,
Okay.
this topic has been removed. So there is no point in leaving this chapter, because you have simple formulas and then just application based question, and chances are there that one question from case study will be from this chapter.
Yeah.
So this one is very important. Okay. And student usually ask me like the most difficult topic which they find in mathematics, the triangles. Okay, triangle,
Okay.
they feel it's the most difficult. And if you'll ask me what are the important question in that, so my answer will be there are n variety of question in triangle. So every time they'll give you one question or the another. So there's no fixed pattern. So in case if you're planning to leave this chapter, do not leave this chapter completely. You can go through this few important topics like the area of similar triangle, Pythagoras theorem, and even if you are doing the BPT only, okay, that if you are doing the BPT only, you will get one question from BPT definitely. Okay, so
Deepika,
yeah.
sorry, I have two questions which are related to just what you are saying.
Okay, yeah.
Preeti Srivastav is asking, ma'am, weightage of triangles chapter. What is the weightage of triangles?
It will be for 7 to 8 marks. 7 to 8
7 to
marks.
8 marks, Preeti. That's your
Yeah, and
answer.
chances are there that one question will be of three marker, three marker question for sure from this chapter.
Okay. Okay. And Swapna Jeffin is asking that graphs are deleted from statistics. Is that right?
Graphs, I just need to check it because
Okay.
many topic. I just need to check it. I'll
So,
come back to that point.
yes, Swapna, we will need to get back with a
Yeah.
conversation on that. But yeah, thanks for bringing that out. Sundar Rajan, I hope your questions have been answered as to which chapters to focus more time on. I think Deepika ma'am has given us a list of chapters which are easy to score. You should not ignore them, and you should therefore focus on them. So what I hear, Deepika, you say a lot of things, but one or two things that I could take out was because I have seen my daughter give class 10 boards last year. So my
Okay.
learning also has been that practice, of course, is crucial. And for graphs and construction, it's important that you actually do it. You know, that is,
Yeah.
I used to see her browse through those questions. ये आता है, ये आता है, ये आता है. So unless you sit and do it, I don't think that sort of helps you get those marks. And volume and surface area, I think that is, I understand because I used to teach her also, is a very, very important chapter. Curved surface area, lateral surface area, and all of that. There's a lot of
Yeah.
come from there. And I think it's, if you understand it, it's very, very scoring. So those are very important.
I would like to add one more point. Like while doing surface area and volume chapters question, student, you should try to visualize the shape. Okay, instead of going through the data and just try to random shape, just try to visualize it and think like if you're having this shape in your hand, what are the surfaces you can actually feel or the touch, then you will get your formula directly. Okay, do not mug up the things and this thing will not work in board exam, because obviously there will be some twist in question. But
Yes.
if you are able to visualize it, then there will be no such problem.
So I'll just say that if Swapna Jeffin is still there, it'll be great if you can give your email ID on the chat so that we get back to you with the right information on whether or not graphs are deleted from
Yeah.
statistics. Yeah, so Swapna, do leave in your email there for us so that we can confirm, ma'am can confirm that. Yeah. Now I have another question, Deepika. I'm sorry I've interrupted your flow. I've got like a lot of questions that have piled up here. Hello, ma'am. This is Gaming Insan. Okay. No, the name is Aditya Singh. Should we
Okay.
focus more on geometry rather than algebra? Is the question by Aditya Singh.
No, Aditya, it's not like that. You have to focus on a particular
Equally.
part, because I have given you the idea, like go for the trigonometry, and like maybe I have given more the geometry part here, more names of geometry part, but it's not like that. One part you should pick and then practice that. It should not be like that. Okay. In fact, from all the chapters, what you should just go through each and every topic, because you have time, you have 3 months for that. So it is, yes, possible to go through all the chapters. Okay.
Yeah. So Deepika, now that you mentioned time, board exams, I think we move to our next section, which is the preparation strategy. Now that we know that board exams, suppose if they happen in March, as they always do, there are
Yeah,
3 months left, right?
exactly.
December, January, February. There are chances that the exams might get postponed, right?
Yeah, ma'am, actually, there is no such
Confirmation,
notification. But
yes.
yeah, I have also heard this thing that maybe there are chances that it will get postponed till May 2021. But
Okay.
as we don't have any notification, so we don't have to wait for it. We should start our
So
preparation.
we should prepare thinking that exams March में होंगे और अपने पास
Exactly. For the March, plan for
right,
March.
right.
Yeah.
So अगर 3 महीने हैं अपने पास दीपिका,
Mhm.
what should be now the strategy for all these students who are really wanting to give the best shot for the maths paper?
Okay. So the first thing is students should do some groundwork. Okay. That means first of all you should know the what is the paper pattern. Okay. From CBSE website you can get it. What is the paper pattern and what is the weightage? And third thing is take one sample paper also and just analyze it. Like what are the changes? Because
They
I
can
have just
get sample papers from the Meritnation website as well, right?
yeah, exactly.
Sample papers downloadable. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. And now, student, when you have already done some groundwork, then you have to focus on three main things. Number one, what to study. Number two, when to study. And number three, how to study. Okay. So let's talk about first point, what to study. So I've already told you like NCERT book is sufficient. And other than that, you can go for NCERT exampler. And the third thing, which is actually most important, is the sample papers. So student, this is our old asset, which you should value. If you are, and the logic is, if you are practiced 5 sample paper, means you have given the board paper 5 times. So just take it like this, okay? And then you will realize that you are more confident before giving a board exam, okay? But the thing is, the way you solve sample paper is very casual, which will not work, and then it will be a waste of time. Okay. So I'll be discussing about what is the correct approach to solve sample papers. Okay, so that we will discuss it later on. Now the second thing is when to study. I understand like maths is a very lengthy subject, but you have other subjects also like Hindi, English, social, and science. Or you have to give time to other subject also. So what I suggest to my student is like in whenever you feel lazy and when you don't want to study anything, you can go for some practice for mathematics, like in afternoon when you are feeling sleepy or something, because that happens to me. Because in morning I used to study social science or the like English, okay, but maths you can do it whenever you feel that you are lazy, so that will save your time, and this will help you, definitely help you. And the third thing is how to study. Okay, so first thing, you have already done some groundwork, what is the weightage, what is the paper pattern, and now you have to subdivide the topics, difficult topics and easy topics. Okay, like for every student, difficult topic and easy topics will be different, so I'm not giving you the list for that, like take this chapter as a difficult, so it's your wish, just make a list out of it. And then just go for like take one easy chapter first and take one difficult chapter first, okay, second, and then easy and difficult. Okay, so this thing will be balanced out. Okay, and next thing is like you have all the stuff ready. So meanwhile, you have 3 months. What you can do, you can make quick notes like formula sheets, some formula sheets that will help you the for last minute revision. Okay, when you have just 3 or 4 days for your exam, what you can do, you can go through your handmade formula sheets as well as some important theorems. So this will make a difference actually, because in last time you don't have correct study material, you just go through instant things like downloaded from internet source. So what will be the best, the thing which you have prepared. And
I want to add one thing here, Deepika, that
yeah,
the convenience of our students is that Meritnation offers these downloadable revision notes, and there's something called a formula booklet also that some of our premium students have already received, which has chapter-wise formula. So these
exactly.
can come really handy. Like ma'am said, to save time, last minute में आपको खुद नहीं बनाना पड़ेगा, आपको experts के द्वारा बनाई हुई chapter wise formula का पूरा list आपको Meritnation में you are able,
Yeah, exactly.
that
And
will really
moreover,
save time.
Moreover, we have MN top 20 questions and top 100 questions we have. Which has been prepared from the mathematics team. So they have worked on it, and they are the most probable question. So one should go for those questions also, instead of going through some random textbooks, reference books, I mean. So they can go through those questions as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So for the preparation strategy, then what I hear you say is that अगर 3 महीने बचे हैं, एक तो आपको what to study identify करना है, when to identify करना है, and how to study में basically you are saying that we should divide it into a couple of like easy, difficult, and okay kind of thing. And वो सबका अपना अलग अलग होगा. So be honest with yourself. कई बारी हम लोग जो हमें easy लगता है उसी पे ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड, बिकॉज वो हो जाता है, जो नहीं होता है उसको नहीं करते हैं.
Exactly.
तो वो थोड़ा सा इट इज लिटिल प्रॉब्लमेटिक. तो वो मैम ने बोला है कि आपको ऑनेस्टली अपने हिसाब से
प्रिपेयर करना है
और करना है.
एंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग जो अभी हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, दैट इज अबाउट सैम्पल पेपर. तो सैम्पल पेपर को करने का तरीका क्या है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू शुड टेक 5 or 7 सैम्पल पेपर्स, ओके, एंड देन जस्ट क्रिएट एन एनवायरनमेंट दैट यू आर सिटिंग इन एग्जामिनेशन हॉल, okay, and after that just set an alarm. Okay, because if you are not doing that exam in a proper time frame, then there will be no use of it. I have seen students, if I give them task to do sample paper, what they do is for 3 hours they take it 7-8 hours. Ma'am, I was doing half of it in morning and then next day, so there will be no use of doing sample paper. Okay, and the second most important thing is, if you are solving it, the student will check his or her paper now, so they'll get when they will analyze what are the weak areas, now they can work on those weak areas, instead of they can take help of the teacher or parents, but if they will check their own paper, they'll come to know what the kind of handwriting they are writing, and what are the common mistake, what are the weak areas. Now instead of paying attention to the questions which they are already expert in, they can give more time to the question which they actually need to practice. So this thing will definitely help them. So this is the way sample papers should be taken.
So ma'am, sample paper पे एक question आया है. This is from Ayush Kumar, who says कि मेरा syllabus complete हो गया है. Shall I start doing sample papers now?
Okay, Ayush, right? Ayush, you can go through the quick revision also. Okay, just go for it will take you 5 days. If you have done with your syllabus, it will take you 5 days. Just go through a quick revision of all the chapters and just work on your weak areas. After that, you can start with your sample paper. And you can also see answer sheet of a student, topper student, board always upload these answer sheet on the website. So you can go through them. So you'll get an idea what toppers are doing, what kind of paper, what is the way they are writing. Okay, so you'll get an idea of that. So students should go for this thing also.
Okay, so I think with that we've come to the sample papers and how we should attempt it. Now I think Deepika ma'am, you might want to talk about time management, because a lot of questions are coming on how to manage time for studies and how to manage time during exam. अच्छा, उससे पहले आई थिंक स्ट्रैटेजी में हमने 2-3 months वाला स्ट्रैटेजी डिस्कस कर लिया. नाउ व्हेन लास्ट 30 days लेफ्ट, मान लो एग्जाम को अभी बस 1 महीना भर ही बचा है, देन व्हाट शुड दे फोकस ऑन? आई थिंक दैट do that
time student should not pick a new topic. For example, if student is thinking at the end of the month I'll be starting with a new chapter like triangles, if he has if he has left that chapter for the end, so one should not start with chapter at the end of if you have just 1 month, so one should not go for that. The reason is because this will if you are not able to solve that, this will bring your confidence down. Instead of that, you should not ruin rest of the practice and rest of the things which you have done during the year. So what you can do, you can go through a quick revision. When I say quick revision, just on the weak areas. For example, in real number, if you are already expert in how to prove irrationality, just skip those things, okay? Because you by this time you will be having solved few sample papers, so you the student will be knowing what are my weak areas. So during that time duration, one can go for quick revision, and also by that time you will be having one formula sheets, okay, or some important theorems, okay, so you can go for that as well. And before exam, this is my request to everyone: do not go for like late night studies and everything. This thing will not help you, because exams are not a one night fight. You have to work really hard to like whole year. Okay, you should not go for the, okay, before a night I'll study this chapter, or go like this will not help.
Yeah, so I hope all you students are listening. What ma'am is essentially saying is that अगर पूरा साल फाइट मारा, मेहनत करी तो ही अच्छे होंगे. अभी भी
Exactly.
3 महीने बचे हैं. 3 महीने में भी आप बढ़िया तरीके से, if you make a systematic plan, you can really give it your best shot. But what she's also saying is that एग्जाम से एक दिन पहले जो पूरी रात जग जग के लोग पढ़ते हैं वो बिल्कुल ना करें, because I think that really takes drains you out also for the next.
When I was in 12th standard in my physics exam, I have done, but that was a pre-board. I've done that thing because the whole night I was studying. I was going through all the derivation part, and in exam, what my situation was, thank God that was a pre-board, and I got a big lesson from that. But this should not happen with my student. Okay.
Yeah. So I think they will remember this point that you made. One girl is asking, Samriddhi Bansal is asking, ma'am, for now, should we start doing maths, NCERT and exemplar first, and then should we jump to sample papers?
I guess student must have done NCRT already. Okay, because I can can see like she's a student of Meritnation, I guess. So we have already done with the NCRT and different question, extra question also. So this is the time she should start with the NCRT exemplar, okay, and then sample papers, because NCRT, if you're giving time to complete one NCRT, 3 months, I don't think it's a good idea, because you have other subjects also, no?
Yes. So Sanvi Upadhyay is asking, she's a standard student. She's asking, do we have to be thorough with arithmetic progressions if we are a standard student?
No, because already the important topic, SN term, that has already been removed. So there will be some bilkul basic question will be there. Okay. So I don't think they need to spend much time on that particular chapter. Even if I give one question to student of standard level, they can solve it right now, because that question will be typically on the formula based question will be there.
Yeah.
Even if one has done with the NCRT and some word problem, take some problems for exemplar also, that is sufficient.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Sanvi. One point that Deepika ma'am made about how to take your sample papers, like that serious attitude and at one stretch, just like you are taking in an exam. उससे क्या होता है कि जो एक एग्जाम की भी जो एक थोड़ी सी एसोसिएटेड एंजाइटी होती है वो भी क्रिएट हो जाता है, और उस स्ट्रेस में आप कर पाते हो नहीं कर पाते हो, वो वाली सारी चीजों की भी प्रैक्टिस हो जाती है. सो आई थिंक a good point. I hope students are listening that don't take breaks in between like you would not in a typical examination.
Yeah, and in this case, I'll request all the parents to monitor this thing when your kid is giving sample papers. So you should monitor this like an examiner, okay?
Yes, so I hope if parents are watching, they will pay heed to this. It really, really helps. As many sample papers as you can do and properly taken, that 3-hour kind of a time frame, right? Rafi Chaudhary is asking, ma'am, when are the board exams? Rafi, we answered this question in the beginning that right now I think there is no clarity with respect to whether the exams will get postponed. So we should go that it will be happening in the month of March. है ना? अगर कुछ आता है notification, then you should take that added time as bonus time.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So coming to for all these board exam related questions, what is that Meritnation doing to prepare these students for say board exams? What are we doing?
Okay.
Meritnation?
Actually, we have planned some extra sessions, special kind of session. For example, some doubt sessions are going on already. And other than that, there will be a time management session. Also stress management session, because that thing, this thing is very important, stress management, because at the end of exam, student, panic a lot. So these kind of session we will definitely conduct. And other than that, right now all the teachers are calling to students. Okay, we are actually calling to a student and we keep on asking, is there anything which where you are facing difficulty, and based on their responses we are conducting some extra classes or doubt session, and which is obviously helping our students a lot. And
Yes.
through Teacher Connect app also, they are all, keep on asking their doubts, so their doubts and everything gets solved. So even I
So,
feel like we are giving all the things, all the study materials, like for example we are providing them Meritnation top 20 questions, okay,
yeah.
which is prepared by maths department team, and also top 100 questions. Okay, so we are
Yeah.
working on all sort of things.
So I remember, now that you mentioned this, Deepika, that I was speaking to one student who is our premium user from class 8. Now he's
Okay.
and he really found these top 100 questions very useful. When he was in 8,
Oh.
he's asking ki for 10th, can I get those top 100 questions? So they are, I think, in the process of being sent to
uh,
a premium users. So I think these questions, like Deepika ma'am has rightly said, have been put together by experts. You know, these are the most important questions from all the chapters. एक बार आपने ये कर लिए, तो I think you are more or less sorted with respect to the different types of questions that you can get from the exam. Okay,
exactly.
moving on, we just have 15 minutes. We are taking questions parallelly, which is good. So I think Seema is asking, flashcards effective in memorizing formulae?
In formulas, okay. In fact, I'll suggest you what you can do. Like, if you write the formula day, okay, just simply write a formula on a sheet, okay, and practice it for continuously 3 days and 4 days. Okay, just fill in the blank thing which we used to do in the junior classes. Okay, if you do this continuously, like take a break of 3 days and again write all the formulas, so this thing will help you, because carrying flashcard and you will be spending time on that will be again a waste of time, no?
Yeah,
That's why.
but I
So
think if he or she is, it is convenient for them to make it,
then they can
works for
definitely go
them.
for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think in what we have basically seen over the years is that every student has different ways of learning.
yeah.
Whatever helps you learn, I think you should most definitely do it. Abhay Mishra is asking, previous how many year question papers we should do, ma'am?
uh, 5 year is sufficient. And
5 years.
also when you are picking a sample paper, because some topic has been removed, so there is no need to go for those questions. So
Right.
and in accordingly you can like, if your 25% syllabus has been reduced and if you are attempting that paper, so you have to solve that question paper in 2 hours. Don't take it for like, you oh, I have to solve this in 3 hours. Take less time, then only in final board exam you will be able to solve that in 3 hours. So whenever you are doing some practice, take less time as compared to what is given in the final exam.
Okay, okay. ठीक है. So now, just some last section where we'll talk about the general tips with respect to the day before the exam and on D-Day, the examination day. What should
Okay.
do? So let's look at the day before the exam. ये सारी चीजें जो typically सब बोलते ही हैं. एक बार अगर as a teacher आप भी बोलेंगे तो शायद बच्चों को
Okay.
बहुत important.
Yeah, definitely. सबसे important thing क्या होता है एग्जाम से पहले, you should not go for the like new start a new topic which I've already told you before. कोई भी न्यू टॉपिक पिक करना एक बहुत बड़ा रिस्क लेना जैसा हो जाएगा एग्जाम से पहले. प्लस आराम से लाइक पूरा लेट नाइट स्टडी, देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ दैट. आराम से रिलैक्स करके, सो स्पेंड टाइम विद योर फैमिली. इवन इफ यू गुड लवर ऑफ म्यूजिक, you can go for that, like good listen a good music. And कुछ quick formula sheets revise करना and go through the some important theorem, that is sufficient a day before. And during exams हम लोग like next session में it's a series of YouTube no, so in next session like some other teacher or maybe someone will be discussing about that. But yeah, exam वाले दिन जो नहीं करना है, the most important thing, do not carry your study material to the exam center. Okay, because I have seen student, even I used to when I was in school, I used to do that thing. I used to carry like all the books, the RD Sharma and those all this, like if I'll
It
go through
adds
all
to
of
the
them.
stress, I think,
Yeah,
no? More than
exactly.
anything. Yeah.
Exactly. And then when you enter an examination hall, you start discussing with your friends. Okay, what you have done. Okay, what are the important topics? And this is actually where you got confidence ekdam chala jata hai. So one should
Yes.
not go for that. Just check up your stationery, whether you have those pen, pencil, and everything. So simple things. Don't worry about all. In fact, when you enter an examination hall, sit alone. Okay, do not talk with your friends, do not discuss anything with them, and do not carry any study material to exam hall. Just sit, relax there.
Yes, yes. There's a Mehek Sharif who's asking, guides are needed or not? Are they helpful? Ma'am, what if someone has started studying last moment, like right now itself? Then how should he catch up the portion?
Okay, last moment, if someone
मतलब
is
अभी
starting
पढ़ना शुरू
now,
किया है
so
तो
actually
कैसे?
that is possible. That is possible. The only thing is if you are doing thing in organized way, okay?
हाँ,
If you are planning something, but if you are making something unrealistic goal, okay,
हाँ,
this won't be possible. So, Mehak, what you can do, like you have 3 months now, do some groundwork first. It will take you just 2 or 3 hours for that. Just go through like CBSE website, there you'll get everything. And then what I've said, you can start with the NCRT. Okay, I just want to ask whether she's going for basic exam or the standard one.
that she's not written, ma'am.
Okay.
She
Okay.
hears us, maybe she will reply, but we don't have that information right now.
Okay, not an issue. Like if she is going for basic exam, then NCRT is sufficient. She can even this time period she can solve the whole NCRT,
Hmm.
including all the examples and everything. But
Yeah.
if she's like giving standard paper, then
Standard.
in
She's standard. I just got her response.
okay, so in that case, I'll suggest that give more emphasis to exemplar and the sample paper also.
Okay.
Because if you start with the NCRT question, each and every question of that, then at the end of the month, you will feel like many chapters are remaining. Okay, so
Yes.
she can go for
सारा
the like,
complete नहीं हो पाएगा. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. ठीक है. So she should do main questions from.
main questions. Like I've said, like top 20 questions or the top 100 questions.
Yeah.
Chapter wise questions are available there, so she can go for that.
Okay. Okay. ठीक है. So I think that is that, and some last, like we have about 7-8 minutes. Some last words of advice that, ma'am, you want to give them. These students obviously are a little anxious because board exams will be pandemic के बीच में जहाँ पढ़ाई नहीं हुई. But we want them to really know that at Meritnation, we are there for them, and we will really join hands with them to ensure that they can give their best performance. Yeah. So last minute, some words of advice that you would like to give these students out there.
Number one, first of all, there is no need to panic. Even if you're getting more surprising every day, like about regarding those notifications, so you don't have to worry about it. You just think like you have 3 months, and just even if you started today, and if you are planned and if you organize, so yes, this is possible. And number two is do not collect lots of study material at this point of time. Okay, so what you have, just go through it. This is more important, and just be relaxed. It's just an exam. Okay, it's just an exam, so there is nothing to worry about it. I understand this is the first time you'll be giving a board exam, but if you'll go through the practice, so this thing will not happen in your case.
Yes, I
And
think
I wish you
practice.
all the best to all my students, and to parents also whose kids are giving board exam this
That
time.
is very, very important. I think
Yeah.
need to really relax and
Yeah.
to understand that their kid will shine, and the child has it in them to do really well. Uh,
Yeah.
so yes, that is very important. On that note, I take this opportunity to thank you, Deepika ma'am, so much for these wonderful, very useful information that you shared with us today. And I'm sure your calm demeanor and your smiling face it will be something that the students will recall when they associate you associated you spoke today, and they'll remember and apply those tips. Thank you so much, and thank you every one of you who watched this session today and who joined us on this live webinar. We want you to know that there'll be a lot more such sessions that we'll be doing for you, a series of sessions, particularly planning for class 10th and 12th board students. We did maths 1, and now we will also do another math session soon. We hope useful. If there are any suggestions that you want to give to us, please write it in the comments as to what are the other sessions that you would want us to do. And we at Meritnation will be always there for you to help you do the very best in your exam. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am, for joining.
Thank you. You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and good night, everyone.